If you love Fancast and Fancasting, then you just go ahead and subscribe down there and make sure to comment on the voting poll to let me know which Fancast you want as next Sunday's video. Is it Disney's Cinderella, The Matrix, Animal Farm, Ben 10, or The Flight of Dragons? Let me know and we'll do that next time out. But today, we're doing Big Hero 6, the Disney film that everybody forgot about. Whoops. Yeah, no, they did though. I'm not saying that it's bad. Far from it. I really enjoy this. But when you're in a period of Disney history where they did Tangled, Wreck-It Ralph, Frozen, Frozen 2, Zootopia, and Moana in that like 5-6 year period, Big Hero 6 isn't quite there, and it got left behind a little bit, and I feel that it is forgotten about comparatively. However, that being said, with all the Marvel films already out there dominating the cinematic world, why not? Why not a live-action, big-budget film or TV franchise from Big Hero 6 on Disney+. Could happen. I know they did an animated TV show following up from the film, but there's more that could be done with that. A proper follow-up or just new, clean slate, something. Something could be done with this, and as such, we're going to cast it today. Imagine that. No way. Big Hero 6 fan. It doesn't matter. So Hiro Hamada. Yes, he's just your average, quirky, funny, 14-year-old super genius on the fast track to going to a robotics university, highest prestige in the world. Oops, but not anymore. Now your brother's dead and you're depressed as hell. Really depressed. he goes down a dark path. And as such, it's quite difficult to say that I actually wanted to cast young for this. He's 14. Normally that would mean I cast someone who's like 17, 18. And normally that'd be the path of least resistance because there's more well-known actors out there, 17 or 18 years old. But I love the idea of casting someone who's got enough experience to pull off this very young, vulnerable hero. Because he is on this dark, vengeful path. For a lot of the film, that is his intention. The way he reprograms Baymax, that's kind of scary. That's a really dark thing that could be explored very interestingly. So I'd really like to see Ian Chen do it. That's right. That's quite simple, because he is actually 14 now. And yet, already has so many years of experience. He is not fresh off the boat anymore, you know what I mean? Yes, gentle comedy. But yeah, for real, he's starred in that for years. In like every episode, basically, right? And then went on to star in Shazam already done superhero related stuff. A Dog's Journey, Wish Dragon. What the fuck is Wish Dragon? Doesn't matter. He is, as much as any 14-year-old boy is, capable of traveling down this dark, vengeful path that Hiro goes down, I think. It is tricky, but I think he can manage it. Next, Baymax, meanwhile, is the lovable, medical, gentle robot who also goes down a dark and vengeful path, but it's Hiro's fault. That we've all learned to love. He's one of the mascots of all Disney now, not just this film. Despite this being underwhelming, perhaps, comparatively, for that time in Disney's history, Baymax is a very well-remembered character. And it is difficult to say. You want a talented voice actor like you had the first time around for this role. I think it was Scott Adsit, is that right? I'm just going to say Tom Kenny. Because not only SpongeBob SquarePants, but also a lot of roles in a lot of sci-fi and superhero-related animated TV shows, mostly. Just things like Rick and Morty he's been in, and he was in Final Space. That's one that he's prominent in, and he's done these robotic-seeming voices before while also injecting a layer of comedy and wit and personality into them, despite them being robots. And that's what you want. If you redo Baymax, you want to keep him as lovable, but you need to do it slightly different. You can't just rehash it exactly. So a different kind of humour to him is something that Tom Kenny could invent and bring to it. Yes, I'm aware he's also in Paradise PD, which I hate, but I've decided to forgive him for that for the purposes of this fancast video, and no really beyond that. I still hate it. Next, as for Tadashi, it's not a huge role. He dies, but he is Hiro's older brother. He's this incredibly comforting presence which is ripped from Hiro's life in a vicious and horrible manner, sending him down a dark, evil path. But I really liked the idea for this of casting Ryan Potter. That's right, it's Hiro. He played Hiro in the 2014 film. Is that the only reason? No, kind of, but not really. Also, he's Beast Boy in Titans, and we've watched him really grow, I feel, over the last couple of years in that role. He doesn't feel like a teenager as much anymore. He feels much more like an adult. And he is 25 now. But you can get away with it because as much as the ages that people go to university in San Francisco or whatever is a little unclear to me, I feel like most of the other members who are all almost in this university, you can cast them in their early 20s. Easily. It's not a problem. And if he's still playing Beast Boy on Titans, he can get away with playing, like, 21, 22 easily. And that's kind of what you're going for. And I think it's a really nice reminiscent thing from the original film to bring him back. And he is great. He is great at everything I've seen him in. Next. So the rest of the team, then. Let's talk about Fred. Fred, do we have to talk about Fred? Fred's the comedic side piece character. But Baymax does a better job of that. He's just the Lloyd one. Fred's just Lloyd. And rich. It's helpful. That's it. His parents are... Well, I think his dad was secretly a superhero himself, right? Didn't Stan Lee do the cameo for that? Yeah. But he is the kind of person that I imagine Joel Courtney playing. I've cast Joel Courtney a few times, and I like casting him because he's so prominent in the Kissing Booth films and in other things as this loudmouth comedic character who doesn't come off as overly annoying while doing that. I was never overly annoyed by him, even in the Kissing Booth 2, which was garbage. Because he... I don't know, he's just got this style about him. It works really well for that kind of character. As this comedic character who's not violently annoying. And while I didn't think Fred was overly annoying, TJ Miller did him originally, I think there's something more lovable about his character that you could inject in with the right person, and Joel Courtney could definitely do that. Next, GoGo is super attractive. I mean, a great character who is not very talkative, perhaps, but she is a badass. Very much so. And she's just delightful. You know, Jamie Chung played her originally. There is more to be done, probably, with a couple of these other characters on the team than was done originally, maybe. Just got to put that out there. And I'm going to cast Lana Condor, which might be insane. It might be insane. She does play a lot of the quirkier, nerdier kind of characters. But having done roles like Jubilee in X-Men, I see the potential in her to do a different style. Something much more like this, where GoGo is a much quieter character. She glares a lot more than you'd be used to Lana Condor doing. But I really like the idea of her in that role. And once again, I've cast Lana Condor a few times recently, and it's because she finished To All the Boys films, and now I feel like, where's she going? Is she going for another big franchise? Going for a big TV show somewhere? What's she doing? She's too talented not to do anything, so just waiting. Just throwing it out there, some ideas for her. Next. And then Honey Lemon. Honey Lemon is a slightly... She's a wholesome character. She comes off as slightly nerdier than GoGo. She's tall. I was lost with Honey Lemon. I don't know what it was that was mind-blocking me on this one, but I sat for ages just going, who do I cast for that? Maybe it's because she comes off as older. She comes off as a character feeling like she's like this mother of the group, so she felt like I had to cast her older than I was casting the others. But I rejected the idea, and I just went, no. You just cast her the same age, someone who has a lot of experience, and could play that motherly, heartwarming, really wholesome character. So I'm going to cast Elle Fanning. She's exactly that. I just described what I wanted for the role, and then I cast her. That's Elle Fanning is great. She is great. And this is the kind of... I think she's right for the role. Is Honey Lemon meant to be older? She feels like she's meant to be older. I don't know why. Elle Fanning is tall, though. Didn't realise how tall she was until I looked her up, thinking she could do this. I'm still confused about why I was so confused about Honey Lemon's role, but I really like that for it. I think. Next, and finally for the team, not finally for the whole video, Wasabi. I feel like Wasabi, again, needs more development. And that's why I'm edging almost more towards wanting to see a live-action, big-budget Disney Plus TV show for Big Hero 6 over films again. I just feel like all of these characters... Hiro's dark path and story is a great story, what they did in the film. And him and Baymax being the main characters, correct. But I felt like all of these other characters in the team, I could not pick out many defining qualities about any of them, other than like one or two personality traits. They felt very pushed to the side. So I'm going to cast Shemeik Moore as Wasabi. Why? Because he's Miles Morales. He's Miles Morales in the Into the Spider-Verse film. And that's what you want. You want all of the personality and characterization, which it's similar. Him having that role as this child who's kind of the leader of this team. It's a similar role to Hiro in Big Hero 6. So I like that in a way. But I also think Shemeik Moor's been doing more live-action stuff. Getting more into some other stuff lately. And I like it. I like what I've seen him in, apart from Into the Spider-Verse, which obviously is a masterpiece. And I'd really like to see him branching out and doing something else like this, because I feel like he does fit this superhero role so well. Wasabi's character could be way better, with Shemeik Moore fleshing it out a bit. Next, Robert Callahan. What a prick. What a prick. Oh, cheeky boy. Yeah. And again, I was thinking Callahan, there's a lot of people you could cast to play this role. This is one of the roles where I wouldn't be against hearing a lot of your casting decisions, because I'm not completely set on the person I've cast, but I know they'd do a good job. But I think it's this kind of, he's like, what, 50-ish, he comes off as intelligent, he could be played by someone quite handsome, you wouldn't put a, you wouldn't say no. I'm going to cast George Clooney. I really like the idea of it being this really quite charismatic guy. George Clooney's a very charismatic man. And then turning out to be the naughty boy. Yeah, no. I definitely think he's someone who could do it. But there's so many great actors out there, big A-list actors that are now in their 50s, who could also do this charismatic, nice guy turns out to be the villain role in something like this. But I am still thinking more in terms of a TV show. So we wouldn't need to stick around all that long. And kill him off. He should be killed off. Whoa. George Clooney would be great, though. Next. And Aleister Craig as well. Aleister Craig. Seems like a dick the whole time. Kind of is a dick the whole time. But he's not the one behind everything. Mostly. So, he seems younger. He seems like he's got to be younger. He's this tech boy, genius billionaire, whatever. He's got to be younger than Callahan. I'm determined about that. He's also ginger. Now, you could change that. It's probably not a defining character trait, but it gave me the idea of casting Domino Gleeson. I love About Time. And I think Domino Gleeson is fantastic in that. My God. What a replacement for Hugh Grant in terms of British rom-coms he would be, but I don't think he's done anymore, really, since... Has he? I've got to check that now. But also, looking at him in the new Star Wars trilogy, that kind of thing, you've seen that he can play this snooty kind of self-important guy, and that's what Cray is, pretty much. He's also rich, but that's pretty much what he's getting at. So he'd be good for that. And he could be more of a recurring role if they did do this as a big-budget TV show. Kind of be a constant thorn in their side without ever being an actual villain, really. I'd like that. Next, and finally, Aunt Cass. Scarlett Johansson. Yep. There's no way Aunt Cass is in her 40s. She is still in her 30s. I will die on this hill. And Scarlett Johansson is 36 now, but still suitable for the role. And Cass is super hot, and Scarlett Johansson's super hot. I said it. Are you happy now? That's all for this one, guys. You go ahead and let me know what else you want to see fancasted in the comments, but vote on which of those 5 you want to see for next Sunday. There will be another midweek fancast during the week. I've already got my plan for what I want it to be. I'm very interested and excited about it. It is also superhero related. Shh. But in the meantime, thank you guys so much. Like the video if you liked it. That helps me. Subscribe if you want to. That helps me. And join as a member channel.